On to a development that we are watching very closely, which is the historic visit, the first of an Indian Prime Minister in over 4 decades, that is to Poland. Prime Minister Modi will be meeting his Polish counterpart, and the visit assumes significance since it coincides with the 70th anniversary of the establishment of the diplomatic ties between India and Poland. Poland is an important trade partner for India. It is the largest in the Central and Eastern European region. It is also important strategically since Poland assumes the presidency of the Council of European Union next year, and Prime Minister Modi's visit will also strengthen a civilizational connect between the two countries. Poland is a center of Indology, with Sanskrit being studied extensively in the country since 1860. The University of Warsaw is the home to the largest Indology department in the whole of Central Europe, and that's a very important meeting that we will be keeping a very close watch on. Remember, first it's Poland and then Prime Minister Modi heads to Ukraine. And first up, take a look at this Crown report that's been filed by my colleague Vishnu Som on a 20-hour journey from Warsaw to Kiev.
The train en route to Kiev in Ukraine. We are still in Poland. We get off in a station called Kelm. We then transfer on to a train by the Ukrainian railways, and then it's a straight 16-hour journey. It's a journey throughout the night. But this is in fact the most efficient way of actually getting into Ukraine. It's been very, very difficult in the past. I've covered the war on 2 occasions. On each occasion in the past, I've had to get onto buses and on the way back with refugees looking to get out of Ukraine and into Poland. Very, very difficult border crossings, but I believe the situation has become more regulated right now. But for India, the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Ukraine is of huge import. It comes at a time when India has made it absolutely clear that our interests lie in being entirely independent in our foreign policy, that while we talk about the territorial sanctity of countries including Ukraine and the need for a negotiated settlement to the crisis, we do continue to maintain very close relations with Russia. But the visit of the Prime Minister to Ukraine, the first time an Indian Prime Minister is visiting this country, very, very important, because India in the process, and the Prime Minister in a sense, is establishing himself as an important global leader, certainly a leader of the G20, certainly a leader of the Global South, in sending an important message that the war must come to an end. He will of course be meeting President Zelensky as well and continue conversations across a range of issues, not least of all the defense relationship between India and Ukraine. It's something not spoken about very much, but it's a relationship that's important. Remember, the Indian Navy's destroyers and frigates are powered by gas turbine engines provided by Ukraine. The Indian Air Force uses AN-32 transport aircraft for decades. These are manufactured by Ukraine, the company Antonov. These are just some aspects of what is an important relationship between India and Ukraine. Certainly students and their welfare. There were thousands studying in this country. That's something that the Prime Minister may be talking about as well. But for now, it's a very long journey all the way to Kiev, a journey which will take us close to 20 odd hours by the time we are there tomorrow. For the moment, this is Vishnu Som for NDTV.
So that was Vishnu Som telling us the importance and significance of Prime Minister Modi's visit to Ukraine, which will happen later. But first up, of course, is the important meeting that will take place with the Polish Prime Minister. And let's also get in a word from the China analyst of the Polish Institute of International Affairs that my colleague Uma Shankar Singh had to explain the significance of the India-Poland economic ties and the bilateral trade between the two sides. Take a look.
So, Mr. Marcin, how do you see China's role when it comes to Ukraine-Russia war? How China is helping its foreign policy, helping Russia in this war?
Well, definitely China is exploiting Russia in its own interests, and which are mostly similar to Russians, which generally is the remodeling of the international order. Because what China wants to achieve is, in its own rivalry with the US, to use up this opportunity to establish a new situation, international situation. And so all these initiatives that are being proposed by Chinese officials, by Xi Jinping himself, by the other Minister for Foreign Affairs, these are mostly initiatives in order to support Russia in its war efforts, but also to gain advantages politically on the global international arena in Chinese relationship with the global South. But China wants to use up this opportunity to strengthen its position, and then, if situation occurs, to use up this better position in its own ambitions in the Pacific.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.